Hello, I'm Barbara Loraine, and this is the KISS Lifestyle Show. The KISS stands for Keep It Simple, Sweetie, and it's all about living well. Today we're talking with Dr. Mary Lou MacIlvane.
I'm Mary Lou MacIlvane. I'm a clinical psychologist. I have a PhD, and my company is Sex Therapy San Diego. Mind you, this is talk therapy. There's no sexual touching, there's no nudity, there are no sexual demonstrations. So this is all ethical and professional. What I see a lot of, and it's probably the biggest problem these days, is lack of sexual desire. There's something about our culture and the way we live today that is making lack of sexual desire become a much bigger problem than it used to be in the past. And it could be for men or women. In order to improve your sex life, whether for a man or a woman, first you want to focus on making it personal. So sex is not just genitalia, but I do think in terms of life energy. Your life energy is also your emotional energy, and believe it or not, it's also your sexual energy. And let me tell you about a word I use frequently, contact. Because contact means that you're in energetic connection, your life energy, and the other person's life energy, you can really see. It's almost like this invisible bead of connection between you. So getting it moving and finding places where it's been stuck or frozen, that's a big part of my job, to get people over their hang-ups, and whatever they benefit in sexuality, they'll benefit in the rest of their lives. Well, technique is very important. People to nourish their sexuality, learn techniques to be able to get the most pleasure and love from sex. I sometimes say, now here's some homework for you. And I usually have some concrete suggestions.
What about the big O?
Orgasm releases tension and it creates...
You say orgasm and he barks.
Orgasm releases tension, and it improves your self-esteem as an individual, and it improves your self-esteem as a couple.
What's the danger of faking it?
Some people get into sexual situations, a man or a woman, where the only way to get out of it is to fake an orgasm, because that's the door out. And it's a much easier door than saying something like, this is not working for me.
Knowing what you want and don't want and communicating honestly is important.
Knowing what you want is very helpful, and knowing what you don't want and how to speak up, that's very helpful. So it's about getting better at relationships, really, and learning how to speak up for yourself, to stand up for yourself, rather than to slide through.
What's normal these days?
Well, really, there's an entire spectrum, from communication and deeply personal, intimate sex, where people are really making contact. That's at one end of the spectrum, and then at the other end you have sex where people are really just focusing on body parts. And most people are somewhere in between. Sometimes it's just fun to meet somebody and have sex. It really depends a lot on what you're looking for at the time. And my job is to respect where people are, but also to leave a door open for them to move toward more meaningful experiences, more enriching experiences for themselves.
When it comes to sexual behavior, is there still a double standard?
Actually, I believe that there is a double standard, and it's part of our heritage, and that we can't just get away from it by deciding we're going to. That is deeply ingrained.
Is it harder for a man to engage in a relationship that promotes great sex?
I think think it's difficult for anyone, because really a sexual relationship is a relationship. And in our earliest childhood, we learn how to do relationships. We learn how much we can trust other people, how much we expect to be heard if we speak up. These are basic relationship things that we learn by the time we're 5. And these are our relationship patterns, and we carry them into our sexual relationships. So if you're going to trust your sex partner more than you ever trusted anybody in your family, it takes some daring, it takes some intention and purpose and a motivation. Because these are emotional issues, they're communication skills, it's about being in touch with what's happening inside you and being in touch with what's happening inside your partner. You want your relationship and your sexuality to be collaborative. So you're working together, you're on the same team. You're working together on something that could be tricky, and the payoff is great, because if you have a partner who becomes a lifetime partner, life is easier and sweeter if you have a partner. Yes, for a couple, sex can really be like the grease that keeps the wheels turning smoothly, because it releases tension and it improves your self-esteem. If you're working together, you get this collaborative sense of teamwork and trust and reliability with each other. And the physical experiences can be very rewarding.
What about dating?
Dating is a big issue, and it's partly about finding a compatible person. And it's partly about learning the skills to get off on the right foot and to build trust. So there's a great deal involved. I think internet dating is a great benefit because it lets people meet a lot of people.
What about love?
If you start out having sex with a new partner and there's love already, it'll help you through a lot of possible difficulties.
When people look sexy, does that mean they are sexier?
That Kim Cattrall from Sex and the City did write a book about women pleasuring themselves, and the focus was orgasm. And it was sort of a handbook for a woman on how to achieve orgasm. And she wrote this because even while she was filming the series, she had never experienced an orgasm. She wrote that in the book. So you get a sense that sometimes the sexuality that you see on the surface really doesn't match with the sexuality that a woman carries within. And that without the experience of orgasm, for some women, they might overcompensate by appearing sexy.
So, what's sexy?
You know, what people find sexy the most is something that moves them. And it could be any number of things. It would depend upon what the man is looking for. Men are visual, so visual appearances help. But what one man might find sexy is if a woman takes control in the dating. For instance, turn here, no, go 2 blocks, take the next exit. That might really turn one man on, but it might turn another man off. So people are very different one from another. Some women want a masculine man, and some women feel threatened by masculinity. It's just completely individual. You have to meet a lot of people.
To learn more about your sexuality, contact Dr. Mary Lou MacIlvane.